We recently received a couple questions from our ministry friends that I'd like to answer. The first one is, I have a Christian friend who is angry at God because she thinks He let her life become a mess. She doesn't know why she should pray since she hasn't seen any answers. How can I encourage her to believe even though she has only seen bad things happen? Well, I think the first thing the Bible teaches us in regard to our pursuit of God and relationship with Him is that life is a journey. You don't measure whether or not you're on the right course after a week, a month, a year, or 5. Life is a journey, and you succeed in realizing the will and the blessing of God by making sure that your life is based on the principle of His Word each and every day. If you don't get an answered prayer one week, or if your faith fails another week, then you just get up, dust yourself off, keep on going. Because eventually, as we embrace those principles as a matter of course in terms of our whole life, we will see the differences begin to be made. Life is a journey. It's not just a short trip somewhere. And by the way, God doesn't let our lives get in a mess. We let our lives get in a mess. You know, He's there to give us all good things. But we're free moral agents. We choose. And when we make a wrong choice, some of those choices are made by default. We simply didn't know enough Word to know any better. But nevertheless, what puts our lives on track, what gets rid of the messes in life, is embracing and basing our lives upon that principle. It's not a matter of praying every other day or so for God to bail you out of a mess you got yourself into. Now, a lot of times He will. That's what the mercy of God's all about. But it's understanding that you need to make a change in a certain place, do things a little differently, and make that a part of your lifestyle, not something you're trying on for a week to see if, God's for real or something. No, you decide whether or not you believe God is for real and His Word is a revelation of His reality in your life. Then as time passes and you grow in the Word, you base your life on that principle. It becomes a journey instead of a 1-month experiment, and you'll see your experience of life improve dramatically. Don't just ask me. I know this by personal experience, part of my testimony, but I know it because of the Word of God. The Word of God is a revelation of how to live. And so when you make that your foundation, and you're not saying, well, I'm just going to pray if I know God answers me the next moment or the next day or the next week, or I'm just going to act right, as long as it seems like God's validating that action by His blessing. If that's the way you're approaching life, you'll never finish your course. Life is a race. We have a course to finish. It is a journey. And when you view it that way and stop responding in terms of your disappointment to every mess you don't see God bailing you out of, then things will begin to change.